In this video, I plan to give you a little window into the day and the life of a creator, and for those of you that do content creation, you'll be able to relate, and for those of you that are not and find this interesting, hopefully you'll learn some of the things that we do, or perhaps you want to start your own YouTube channel. So let's crack into the video and take a look into the life, a day in the life of a creator. So basically, the day in the life of a creator, or for me personally anyway, starts in a quite dark space in my bedroom in the morning where I'm checking my phone. And what I tend to do is, one of the first things I do, obviously do the normal, texting or WhatsApping your loved ones and stuff like that. And then I'm usually straight, believe it or not, straight onto my YouTube app, checking out the, if I've got any comments to respond to. I like to look at the performance of my latest videos, see how my best videos are doing. And believe it or not, that's one of the first things I do most mornings. I check to see, what videos are doing well, then I'll go onto my actual YouTube channel, see how that's performing. And then quite often, the night before, I've been thinking, because usually late at night is when my best ideas come to practice, and I've been thinking what posts I can do on social, so advertising the channel, advertising new videos, talking about content creation stuff, and I'll post on like Instagram and Twitter. I also have a bit of a group on Facebook. I also have lots of other groups on Facebook of different passions, and I tend to update some of them as well. And this is before I've even get up. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? I'll be checking on in, all this sort of jazz, and then I'll get up for one of the things I love about the day, I don't know about you, is food. So let's crack on with breakfast. And the next part of my day is very important to me. It's breakfast. Oh yes, cheers. And that can result in, a cup of tea, or Andy as I call it, orange juice, cereal, fry up, depending on what mood I'm in. Cheers. Food is very important to me, and I think it's a great way to start the day. Now, on the day off, or at the weekend, or if I'm not doing anything in particular, because obviously we've all got lives and seeing family and friends and all that jazz, I quite often get my trusty book, which at the moment is one of these, and I will start to jot down, I don't know when pen's gone, but I'll start to jot down ideas or sort of bullet points of how I want to make my next video. Now obviously if I'm doing sort of my paid job as I call it, or if I'm out on a day trip, or if I'm seeing family and friends, obviously I won't have the time to do this, so I'll go and do that, as we all do. We all have lives to live. But quite often I'll be out and about, and I'll be on my phone, I'll be just thinking of things, and if I think of cool posts to, again, advertise a channel, or if I'm thinking about a certain camera, or if I just want to sort of, keep the interest of the channel going, again, I'll perhaps at some point later on post on Instagram and Twitter especially. And I tend to find in the mornings a good time, especially the weekend, because lots of people on their phones, so you tend to get more interaction, that sort of thing. But if it's a day off, or a day like today when I'm planning to do some filming, I will then start to jot down the bullet points of how I want the video to go. And that's very important, because if you literally just press record and just film anything, quite often it makes it much more harder to edit, it makes it more harder to film, you're not quite sure what you're doing. And if you prefer scripts, that's fine, but I just find if I have bullet points of roughly what I want to say or how I want the video to go, I just record each of the bullet point, that's what makes sense, and then from there it just makes it much more easier to edit down the road. Now I was going to take you on a walk, because quite often, I do love my walks. I think it's a great way to think or just relax, which is something I'm really bad at. And because I had a bit of burnout over Christmas, I've then decided to try and have at least 1 or 2 days where I try to give myself a break from content creation. Very important for you fellow creators, because burnout is very real, as I've found out the hard way. So off I go now to do my thing of the day. And as it is raining, I probably won't take the camera out, but you get the idea. Now, something I feel is really, really important as a creator is I love to have an office space. So I've made myself an office space with one of my main computers. Sometimes I do this in the studio because I have a computer in there as well for live streaming and editing. We'll perhaps get to that later. But I think it's really important to take the time to respond to comments and do all the little things that you may not think about. So watching other creators' videos, I like to make time for bigger YouTubers, people like Nick Nimmin and people like that, to learn about content creation even more. So I know what's going on in YouTube, I know what I'm talking about, I feel up to date what's going on, I'm learning stuff, go on channels like Think Media and stuff like that to learn about the latest cameras, all that sort of jazz. So I really feel I'm in the mode, if you will. And then I love spending time on, you know, fellow creators, people I've met, like some of you guys probably watching this now, that I've met over the last couple of years. I love to spend the time, sort of, if I find one of you live, I'll join in and sort of feel part of that live stream, part of that community, take the time to watch some of your videos, comment on those videos, because, you know, as a creator, it's a real nice feeling when you get those comments and then people tend to do it back, so you feel like you're growing this community. It's very important as a creator, grow this community around your channel, and I just like to do this on a computer. I'm a bit old school, so I'll be flicking through videos and all that sort of jazz. Then I'll go into my YouTube studio and I'll be tweaking videos, perhaps improving thumbnails, going in the studio, perhaps design a better thumbnail occasionally, updating descriptions, you know, all the stuff that goes into making a video. And, you know, it's all these behind the scenes things, and this is just an inkling of some of the things we have to do as creators, but I just think it's really important to spend the time doing all of this. I spend, you know, a bit of time. I should perhaps spend even more time researching videos. That's something else I do a lot of, either on my phone or in my office or here in the studio as we are now. And I'll spend a lot of time just sort of researching titles, looking at Google Trends, stuff like that, trying to see what videos might do better. And sometimes it really is trial and error. It shouldn't be, but sometimes it feels like that. You know, you're really set on the video, you're really convinced it's going to do well, you'll post it, nobody cares, and then you'll make another video and you think, oh, you know what's not my best work, but I probably shouldn't post it. I'll post it anyway, see what happens, and you guys, the community, seem to love it. So that's something that I'm learning as a creator all of the time. And then on a day like today, if it's my day off, or if I'm, you know, going to do some filming today, I'll be like, look, in the studio, woohoo! And I'll be setting up, I'll be putting on the softbox lights, I'll be turning on the backlights. I've got this really cool new hoop light which has all different modes on it and stuff like that. I really love playing around with that. And then I'll be like, right, I'm going to set up the tripod, set up the camera. At the moment I'm using the Canon M50, love this camera. I'll be setting up the microphone and all that sort of jazz. And then I'll be getting ready to do some filming, and then this is what I tend to start with saying. I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly content on cameras and all sorts of stuff like that. If you're getting value from this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and hope you're enjoying this video. So as you can see, this is a studio, this is a space, and this is my computer where I do my live streaming, my editing. That tends to be where I edit after I've done the filming, which is obviously one of the most important parts. But for me, the editing is like the painting. It's like watching your content, your video come to life. And that's really, for me, where the magic happens. It's the idea, then the filming, then the editing, and then all the stuff that goes on after that. And then once I've done hours and hours of editing, sometimes it only takes me 40 minutes, I just get, oh, absolute effort. Only joking. Quite often I like editing as long as it goes well, but those of you can relate that sometimes editing programs crash and all that jazz. But I use Magic at the moment, movie editor, and it's a pretty good program. It doesn't crash very often. It's very easy to use, has all the effects and transitions that I need. And I'm trying to get my music from the YouTube audio library, which is free. Just put the link in the description of the song you use. And then obviously once I've edited the video, I will, you know, put in the description link to my affiliate links to my merch, so check it out. There's the merch up there, see? And you know, all that sort of stuff that goes into it. Then you upload the video, and then quite often, either before or after that, I'll do a thumbnail where I do something really cool like this. Have a look, let's have a look. I'll be like, cheese, ka-ching! And then from there I'll go onto Photoshop and edit a thumbnail. I usually make 3 or 4, sometimes 10 if I can't pick one. I'll sometimes even send them to a friend to see what they think. And then I'll pick one, go with it, and it really is, you know, I should probably do a bit more research in that, but sometimes again, just like the video, I'll make a thumbnail and think, I like that thumbnail, click-through rate won't be great, but then I'll do it with the thumbnails, and I'm finding the simpler I make them, and with little text as possible, they tend to do better. So that's my power tip. Usually once I made a video, if it's not raining like it is today, I tend to go for a walk or carry on my day, or perhaps, you know, meet friends, see family, stuff like that. And then usually at the end of the day, once you've done all the normal human things, like most people, my day will end probably in my bed. And I'll probably go on my phone, and I'll sort of end the day how I've started it. So I'll go on my YouTube Studio app, I'll check the, you know, if there's any comments to respond to, maybe watch a couple of your guys' videos. I'll be thinking of ideas. I know, yeah, literally. And quite often my best videos will come at night. I'll be thinking, yes, great idea for a YouTube video, and I'll start the process again. And so as you see, it's a bit like a rolling circle, a rolling wheel, and I hope this sort of gives you a bit of an insight into, you know, their life of a lot of creators, and maybe give you some like, yeah, I can relate to that, or wow, that's too much effort. And I'm always thinking I could be doing more. There's certain parts I could be putting even more time into, but it's just trying to balance that out. And my best advice for you guys would be try and find a balance to just like you would with a normal job, in the sense of make time for it, perhaps set certain time in the week that's just dedicated to your channel, making videos or etc, just like you would if you're going college, school or work. And you know, just make it part of your life, but find that balance between doing what you love and the other style, you know, the socialising, doing other things, and life in general. So I hope this was interesting. Like and subscribe if you got value. I'm going to leave some end cards, which hopefully will take you to just as even better content than this. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to ask any questions, comments below. Have a great day, and in this dark, spooky room, you guys rock!